Okay, welcome everyone to the November Mosaic of Flavor cooking class. We are here live in the South End teaching kitchen of City Market. My name is Anna and I'm one of the volunteer coordinators for the series. Before we get started, I'll just give a little bit of background about the Mosaic of Flavor classes. This is a monthly series and it's a partnership between City Market and USCRI Vermont, the U.S. Committee for Refugees and Immigrants Vermont, formerly known as the Refugee Resettlement Program. And our goal with this series is to invite a cook from a different country each month to be able to teach us recipes and share stories and help us learn more about the new American communities here in the Burlington area. We also are going to be learning about lots of different ingredients and recipes and perhaps places to shop to be able to source some of these ingredients that we don't always use. So everyone should have received by email a handout for tonight. This has the recipe that we'll be learning, and then on the back it's got some maps, and there are also some links to some more detailed information about Congo-Brazzaville, which is the country we'll be learning about tonight. Before I hand it over to our instructor, I wanted to just introduce her. We are very, very grateful tonight to have Gertrude Moundouti joining us. It was a pleasure to meet her a few weeks ago and prepare the class together. She is very knowledgeable about Congolese cooking and about many other things. So she will be sharing her recipe tonight, but also we will have an opportunity to ask her questions about the Congo and about maybe her experience growing up there and anything we wish to learn from her. Just a note that everyone is welcome to ask questions throughout the class. We like to make it as participatory as possible. Feel free to just send a text message by the chat, and Carrie, who is here facilitating and assisting us from City Market, will ask the question. We will have questions both about the food, and then as the meal is cooking, we should have a little bit of time to have more of a discussion, and feel free to send over questions for that as well. So just a little bit of background about Gertrude. Gertrude Moundouti came with her family to Vermont from Congo-Brazzaville in 2008 and now lives in the South End of Burlington. Gertrude has 3 children and loves to cook Congolese food for her family. She says, "I cook food from back home so my children will have an idea of where they are coming from so they will not get lost." Gertrude has many years of experience working as a nursing aide and works at the Converse home in Burlington. In addition to English, Gertrude speaks French, Kituba, and Lingala. So welcome, Gertrude.
Thank you, Anna. Hi, everybody. My name is Gertrude Moundouti, like Anna just presented me. And today we have a recipe we call Gulu Mu Mako. That means ngulu, it's our pork ear, but we are using just a feet of them. And mako means plantains. And we have choices. You can go with the green plantains. You can go with the one is not so really yellow, but these are the most I can recommend to everyone. We go with this because of the flavor, but I know many people can like sweetness. You can go with these yellow ones. But if you really don't go like back home, we go with the most part we use the green plantains. And just to add, those are the main ingredient for this recipe. Gulu, plantains, and just salt with water. But I want just to add, for it's just optional, we can add veggies like tomato and onion just to make our recipe get a lot of stuff in there where we can feel like we are eating a full meal. And with ngulu, we go, or with pork, sorry, ngulu is pork. With pork, we have to boil it. Boil it like 30 minutes before you mix everything. 30 minutes, and you can check on the pork knowing that it's getting soft, it's just the way the skin gets softer. You can just pick on it and you notice the skin is getting softer. That means it's ready to be mixed. Or go with minute for those who want to make all those mud. But for me, I just go with my eyes. Most of the time I cook, I use my eyes and my tongue or my fingers, not just making all those amount of time, specific time for everything. It depends on what you have. Sometimes you can have this pork bigger than this, but now we have middle size. It's good too. And for little flavor too, we can add this bellies for just for another smell, nice smell in your food. You can add it too. And we have water, salt, like I said, tomato, onion, plantains, and pork. That's all for our recipe. For those who like pork, you can go. Oh, I don't recommend you to use beef as beef. It's most pork.
Okay. Can you tell us where you recommend getting pork for the pig feet?
I do get pork from Thai market on North Street. For those who are familiar on North Street, you can see it. Asian market. There you can get those feet. It depends on what you're gonna find there, but there is some there easy to find.
Yeah, and the address is on the handout.
Yes.
Anyone needs it.
For those who need it.
Yeah, and City Market also can get pig feet if you want to order it. It takes 1 to 2 weeks.
Okay, for those who have to come on City Market, there's a procedure. You know better that it has to be ordered, and they can come and get this. But here in City Market, you can get plantains too. Yeah. Even at Tarmac or anywhere, plantains are almost everywhere. That's something we get most of the time everywhere we need it. It's just pork and the specific part of the pork that you can have to go with horses. Here in City Market, then good to go at Tarmac.
Great.
And because of the time, we already started with the pork. Like I showed you, this is what we had, but we started boiling just because of the time. And now we start cutting my plantains just to make them ready for our recipe.
Great.
Can Anna help?
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah,
Just for we bake with the plantains. Oh, I forgot about. Thank you.
So plantain skin is a lot thicker than banana skin.
Yeah, and the green one kind of thick on the skin is not so easy to come off.
Yeah.
It's a little fight.
It's a fight, okay.
As you can see.
And when you get plantain, do you get this green? What color are you looking for?
Like I said before, for me, I recommend this. This is what I eat back home.
Okay.
But for those who want to taste different tastes, or you can try all and you choose whatever for the first time. Check on all of them. Yellow or kind of yellow or greenish one. And with the taste, you'll choose whatever works for you, what is better for yourself. But in my taste, it's a green one.
The green one.
That's what I want everybody to know, because it's not really sweet food that I like to eat. I like to eat stuff a little salty, then sweet.
Mhm. And didn't you say before that sweet plantain are for children?
Yes,
Or-
sweet plantain is not just for children, but children like
They just,
the taste of sweet. And then if you are making this kind of recipe for most kids, I will recommend you to go with the yellow one just to get them enjoy the food. When it's sweet, they like it better.
Mm. In Congo, do you prepare plantains in other ways? Like do you make fried plantains?
We do make fried plantain. We do make fufu as yeah. For that, you just boil it and get to mix it after boiling it, and like mashed potatoes, you can have it like that. You can just boil it, cutting off and boil it and have it with another recipe you want to, but not cook together. This is a one recipe, going everything in one dish or one pot, but you can boil it and have it like potatoes inside of your meals. For those who really like plantains, this is a good recipe I recommend. For those who never learn or never try, try it. Try it at home and you'll see.
Yeah. It's a great recipe also because it has these two main ingredients, the pig feet and plantains, that we don't use so much in American cooking in the Northeast. And so it's a great way, I think, to make something with them that's pretty easy, right? It's not a complicated recipe. So.
Yeah, like you said, if you don't really get this usually on your plate, now it's time to start this new recipe. And you'll find something different than usual.
And is this a recipe that is like for special occasions, or is it a recipe that people eat every day?
This is for special occasion when you are in big cities. And some restaurants start making it in the restaurant for good dish or good selling. But back home, you can have it for ceremony or for daily use or normal eating. We know in back home in villages, people are farmers and you can have your pork. You won't wait to eat your pork just for occasion time.
Yeah.
You can eat it whenever you can. Sometimes you sell it and then you have a leftover of it, you cook and eat for yourself or share with others. And sometimes when it's really occasional and you have like a party, mini party, whatever, you got guests coming, you can cook for them and give it to them.
Yeah, that's great.
Somebody has a question, can we use other parts of pork, like pork butt, if we can't get feet?
Yeah, but it won't be the same because there we don't have like skin, and here we don't have a lot of meat. We have more skin and it's a little gooey, and with the plantain it goes really good than meat. But you can. For those who can really try different way to make the recipe, yes, I can't say no, but this is just the right part for it. But every part you can, it's good to go.
Are there other questions about plantain or the recipe? Yeah, you're saying.
So it's good for them to know that when you never try something, it's good to try it in different way. And it's easy for everybody to get it. And then at the end, you make your choice. I tried it this way and I tried that this way, but I prefer this one. It's up to you guys. And I try to clean up on top of it just to make it smooth and nice and good.
So do your children at home help you with cooking? Like, would they help with this job?
Yes, I really push them to come next to me. And
Okay.
I call them every time I need them to help, they come.
Hmm.
It's just a way to satisfy everybody, to make everybody involved.
Yeah.
And for them too, it's another way to learn.
Hmm.
I know they're still young and the boy one doesn't want to touch it, but I'm sure one day he will remember that mom made this or mom did this with my sisters. He can have an idea and
Yeah.
try one day to say a word on it. But I do get them involved, yeah.
Oh, that's great. They're lucky. So tell us, how old are your children?
The oldest one is 18 now, and the one in the middle is 12. Is a boy, sorry. And the youngest one is 10 years old now. And one goes to Champlain Elementary, the youngest one, as a 5th grader. And my son go to Edmond School as a 7th grader. And my oldest one is 11th grade, BHS. Yeah.
Great. We have a question asking about the scraping that you're doing. They're asking, is the scraping of the plantains to remove something that's undesirable, or is it just to make it smooth?
Just to make it smooth and look nice. It's not everything is eatable, but you just need something look nice for yourself.
Great.
And don't be surprised, your nails can be darker, turning darker when you use the plantain, the green ones. But it's just the plantain skin who can turn that. Going to clean up here. Thank you. Stick on here. Now we have cleaned it and we can cut them, but the size of your plantains, it depends on what chunk you want to. But I will see, the size of the plantain too can help you. If you see it's a small plantains, you don't need to go with like, it has to be 4, it has to be 5, but whatever you want to make it, go ahead. You are free to do. I'm sure parents are looking at me and asking if their kids will enjoy it. Cook and get them tasted, and you'll see the feedback from them. Let us check on meat again. Where did I?
Can you show maybe the camera? Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of the pieces I can show you guys. If you can see from there, it's getting softer. And you can see the skin is getting smooth. That's almost there.
So how do we know when it is done? If we're not measuring by time, what are you looking for?
Like I
Does the
said,
skin-
it's just the skin and you can see it tender. When you push your spoon on it, you'll see that it's getting tender. The skin is coming like coming off, like just with the way you check on plantains or the way you check on any meat if it's done.
Yeah.
You just push on the skin and sometimes it goes through it, nothing coming out. But when it's something you're cooking like in the oven, you want to make sure that the blood or whatever meat inside is cooked. But this way it's already in water. That means you won't see any blood anymore coming, but you see that the softness of the skin or the softness of the meat by touching it or by looking at it. It's showing. You'll get it. Oh, for those who are able to touch something hot, you can touch on it too and push on it, see if it's soft.
Yeah.
Already soft for you.
Great.
And we started with the pork, but I didn't add any salt on it. We can use 1 spoon, depend on the taste you want to have, but not too much salt. I know you don't eat too much salt, right?
Yeah. And you can always add more later, right?
Yeah, you can add more later, just for the good taste of your own. But it's almost there, not quite yet. I want just to get a spot to start cutting my onion and tomato. Then we can move forward. Thank you. So guys, I will ask Anna to wash it a little bit for us.
Yes. So you just rinse it?
Yes, just rinse it for
Okay.
us. Thank you.
So do you prefer a specific type of onion? Like is white the best kind to get, or is yellow or red okay?
Yeah, purple one is too strong,
Okay.
but white one and yellow one, yes, you can go with.
So white or yellow?
White and yellow. We don't really need something stronger, but just kind of
Yeah.
coming off of the smell of that pork, we can use white one or yellow one. But the purple one is too strong. The smell is too strong. This one can go now. And then we can have our tomato. Don't really use much tomato because it's just optional, and I'm going to use just 1 today.
Is tomato used in a lot of Congolese food, like in the city and in the countryside, or is it mainly just for city dishes?
No, we use a lot of tomato, and we really grow them in our farms.
Yeah.
That means we eat it in most of recipes.
Okay.
In most of recipes, we really use our tomato. It's good. Salad,
Yeah.
any kind of bouillon we have, we go with tomato.
Okay.
Yep.
Great.
And I forgot, sorry. For the good smell again, for those who can have it, just try it too. But it's just optional, like I keep saying. Just try something with some people don't really like a strong smell of food, but trying to cut it a little bit with other stuff helps for people to have a good taste of the food they are eating. And this is done. I think we can go with our plantain now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You can see I cut them up and rinsed it, and now we can mix everything together. And let it boil for almost 30 minutes again, but we can check time to time to see how it's going on. We almost done for the preparation.
So see, it's very easy actually, this dish, yeah?
Yeah, easy to go. Even if the pork takes too much time, then the rest of the part of food, 30 minutes for just for itself to be cooked, try to get it soft, and 30 minutes again, it's good. But we have in Africa, a lot of cooking would take you like 2 hours or more. It depends,
Okay.
but at least this is good.
Oh, great, great.
Not too much ingredient and compost.
Compost is the agreement, yeah. Oh. So maybe now while we're waiting, you can tell us a little bit more about different foods in Congo, where you're from. What were some of the typical foods you had growing up?
Even I give the list here, you want to know what I'm talking about. I need to sit.
Yeah.
In Congo, we eat. Most of stuff you eat here, it's just the way we cook it. Most the way you cook food here, it's different than back home. And if you go with pork, like I said, this is one of the recipe you can make with pork, but we can do pork with beans, we can go pork with just veggies like spinach or whatever you're good to go with. Back home, like I like food with water, with soup, not fried, too much fry or just oven stuff. I'm not too good on. This kind of style, it's here. And those are my kiddos who really like it. And I'm trying them to see the difference between my cooking and their cooking because at school they try to learn. They teach them some cooking class. They learn some recipes. It depends on the, I think, it's one of the class they take sometimes especially in elementary school. Like my daughter, when she comes back home and she makes difference. When I try to make something and she can tell where we did this at school, but it was not like this. I say, yes, good comparison. You compare your food here and my food. We have same ingredients, same stuff, but we don't cook it the same way. And what I do like back home, we have saka saka, we call it pondu from both Congos. And it's cassava leaves, if I can explain it to you for those who knows cassava leaves. That food, I like it. That's a recipe, I like it. I like beans with meat, like pork, beef, smoked fish, salted fish. It depends, but being in that meat. It can be fish, smoked, salted, or pork, goat, or beef. What else, sorry, I do like? I do like peanut butter sauce.
Okay.
You can cook peanut butter with smoked fish, salted fish, smoked beef, or smoked pork. It depends on you, but it's another way for me to tell you that I eat most stuff in water. When I say in water, it's not fried, it's not something dry, but it's water. You can see. And in peanut butter sauce, we add, I don't know if you guys are familiar with, it's a kind of veggie, but it's most of veggie from Africa. We call it fumbu. It's not really, but if I find it even on Google, I can try to show you guys maybe later, but that I put it in that sauce for myself. Yeah.
Is it a root vegetable? Like,
No, it's leaves.
Leaves, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But the card is so small. I will find it and show it to you guys.
Okay.
For next time you can try it. And what do I like? When I was born, I didn't eat, back home we eat as main food wheat, plantain, or rice, or cassava bread, or cassava flour. It depends. But I didn't eat cassava bread. But that was the main stuff you can eat with almost every recipe back home. And I started eating it just during my move, during the war, when I was going, I was living in Congo, first leaving my hometown to another city till I went to Gabon because I left Africa by Gabon. And that was um, my country, African country, before coming here. That's where I went when we got displaced in Congo. I went to Gabon. Then I spent 8 years in Gabon. Then from Gabon, I got resentment to America as a refugee.
And you said you didn't first arrive in Vermont.
No, I landed in Connecticut.
Connecticut.
That's where I spent 8 to 9 months, and I got my son in Connecticut. That I came pregnant as a pregnant mom, and I got my son there, and I moved. We came up here as 3 people with a little one in my belly. That's 4 1. But the 4th one came out here in USA. Then coming from Connecticut to Vermont, we came as 4 people.
Okay.
I have 2 questions that came in about the stew. Someone asked if you need to add more water when you add the plantain, or if it's the same amount, it's just the water that was there when you were cooking the pork.
As the amount of the water you have to use, like I said in the beginning, use your eyes or use your hands or use whatever you want to use, able to check on the meat. But the water we had or we put in here, it's almost the one we're gonna use till the end of our cooking because we really fill it up. But time to time, when you see your food or your recipe, you can check if water is still or needed or not. Water is still needed because you need your plantain to be cooked fully first. I know the meat is gonna be already cooked, but your plantain needs to be cooked fully too. But if you need a lot of soup, when I say soup, water in your recipe, you add more. If you don't really need too much soup or too much water, you don't have to. But there, on the recipe, we have the amount of water you can use. We already put it on the recipe.
Great. And then somebody else wanted to know if you'd serve any other foods with this, or if this would just be the meal.
This is
you'd serve with it.
This is the main meal as it is. But if you like, we have party. We make different dishes for our parties. You can add another one. But for daily meat, this is the main meal. With dessert if you want to, or salad. But this is a main meal.
Great. And then somebody else wanted to know, they were very interested in the peanut butter sauce that you described, and they wondered if you could say sort of a quick recipe, like what else would you add plus peanut butter?
Okay, that's gonna be a quick, yeah, it's a quick one. As a peanut butter sauce, how do I go with? We got peanut butter. It's like smoked fish. It doesn't have to be boiled long. It's already cooked. And it's soft. When you boil it too much, it's almost melt in water. But I go first with my peanut butter mixed in water, boil it, start boiling, and then you put the meat. You get your meat. It depends on how much you want your meat. It can be one big fish, one small one. It depends on the amount of people you want to. Sometimes you have a lot of meat, but not too much peanut butter. Sometimes you have a lot of peanut butter, and the more you use a peanut butter, more peanut butter, it's gonna be really thick as sauce. But if you put it just light, your sauce is gonna be light sauce too. And you can add, like I was saying, you add your meat in that boiling peanut butter and salt it and onion, all those spices you want to put on. It's not too many stuff to you're gonna add inside. It's just onion just for the smell, salt for the taste, and we can use what else? I go with onion. On most of my recipes, onion. Garlic, I go with, but not usually, but I like onion. Then mix them for like 15 minutes. Around 15 minutes, like I was saying, I already cook with my eyes. That is a bad habit. Coming back home, I go with what I want, what I like when I see the meat. It's just my eyes with the meat. And 15 minutes is okay for everything, or 30 minutes for all recipe. And then you can have it with plantain, boiled one. You can have it with bread. Bread, as bread, we have white bread or French one or the galette, whatever you have as bread. You can have it with cassava flour. You can have it with plantain flour. You can have it with semolina. You can have it with rice, white rice. You can have it too.
Great. All right, those are all the questions so far, so we can go back.
Yeah. So earlier you had mentioned wanting to show participants the map of Congo and maybe explain a little bit about the north and the south and show them where you are from. Is now a good time to do that?
No problem. I am coming. Are you ready for the map? You can go with the multicolored one. I am coming from the south of Congo. Congo is one of the countries in central of Africa. Let's go with Africa first. Sorry. You can see on the map, we have that Africa, the corner of Africa. It's the center, almost the east of, no, almost the southwest of Africa, but it's the center. It's the center of Africa. Congo is right there. And on the Congolese map, you'll see we have the big Congo, which we call big Congo because it's bigger than Congo-Brazzaville. It's the DC Congo, the Republic Democratic of Congo. That's a Congo too. But I am coming from Congo-Brazzaville. That is the small Congo. Why there are two Congos? Congo-Brazzaville and Congo-Kinshasa, which is RDC, they are separate with the river. And that big river is called Congo. And both countries are Congos. And because they took those names from that river. And we have small Congo and the big Congo. My Congo, then we can go to the yellow map. My Congo, you can see there, I think it's the yellow one. Yeah, it's the yellow one. I'm coming from my mom's side, Le Poule, as the province called Le Poule. My dad, La Bouenza. But both provinces are in the south of Congo. And you'll see the south of Congo provinces are small ones, but there is a lot of population in that side of Congo. The north, it's bigger, but the population is not too much as in the south, because up there it's more green, it's more river, it's more lakes, it's more water. I can call it just water. It's more space are covered with water. The south, we have more dust on the ground than the north. And you'll see, if you go with hydraulic map, you'll see those names, different names in north. It's way water and forest. But the south is really covered. We have forest in south too, but we have more population in all around the South. And that's where I'm coming from. And I wish one of the day, if one of you want to go to Congo, go and visit the South when you see most of people. But if you need like safari style, go to North.
That's good. Is there anything else you would like people to know about your Congo for people who might not have a chance to go there one day? What should they know?
They have to know that Congo is a country from Black population first, and it's Africa, but we know Africa as the North is white population, and the South or the center or the East and the West it's kind of mixed, but the South it's most Black population. That's where I'm coming from. And when you want to get there, you'll see people are nice. Besides whatever we go through daily, our lifestyle, we are not rich as a country, but we are rich in our mind. We are rich in our heart because we love everybody. There's a place for everybody in Congo. It's not a country where you have to go and be like scared or have like a fear. Am I going to be like? Don't ask too many questions. Just go there and live and see the nice people you'll find there. And we are a country which most Christian than Muslim, than other religion, it's most Christian. And I can just say myself here, I pray Jesus Christ. And for those who pray to that side or that religion, I invite you one day to go to Africa, go to Congo, go to Congo-Brazzaville. Exactly in Le Pool, there is a nice place you can go for meditation. They call it Kibosi Ga because it's on the right train side, train line. You go there for a good meditation. Kibosi in Congo-Brazzaville, there is a nice place to go and pray. And population, beside, like I said, our lifestyle, they love having new people coming to, especially to visit. They feel like they are loved too. When you go there, they see that people are coming to us because they love us too, right? And that exchange of love, you can feel it coming down there.
Great, that's great. So earlier, you were telling me a little bit about your grandmothers and that one of them gave you her name. Could you tell us a little bit more about your grandmothers? Because it sounds like they were very important to you and to your family.
Yes, in my country, when I'm coming from, especially parents give names to their kids on not BF, but it's just the way they like it. You can give your children or your child a name from your parent, where you're coming from. It can be your uncle, your aunt, your mom or dad, but you can give a name in your child or to your child as someone else you love or you feel like a model for you. It can be a teacher, someone you spend a good time with, someone you take as an example from something special. It depends. But my parents gave me, as the older child, I got my grandma's name from my dad's side, dad's mom. And I didn't really spend time a lot with our grandma. They were coming to us time to times, but we were living South than Brazzaville, where my dad had a good place to work, but that company closed. When they closed, we stood with our grandparents on mom's side for almost 4 years. I spend more time with that grandma than the one who has my name. She's still alive. The one who has my name, she's more than 90s, but I can't tell her age right now, a specific age or birthday or anniversary. But my grandma on mom's side, which I spend a lot of time with, she passed away in 2010. Yeah. But she's, I can say, my mother.
Your
I'm
mother,
proud of her. Yeah.
Yeah.
For whatever she did in her life here, I'm proud of her. She's my mother.
Oh, that's great. Oh,
That's what I can say for her. Too many stuff, too good one, but I don't want to put it on here. But she is my mother. But my grandma, the one I inherited the name, still alive. And what I can say coming from her, I was quiet before now. I was quiet, a quiet lady, a quiet girl. That's something I took from her. She's a quiet grandma, and she's the oldest on her family, and I am too. From my dad and my mom, I'm the first child that I can share.
that's great. Oh. Are there any other questions?
None coming through the chat box yet? Nope.
Okay. Well, I have a question. I'm curious about
Yeah.
who learned to cook in Congo. Like when you were growing up, was it only the girls who were cooking, or did men also cook?
In Congo, it depends on families, but most of family knows that kids are one day going to leave our house. We have to teach them whatever we can teach them, then they will be able in the future life, whatever they will be going to. My family side, everybody cooks. Everybody. Grandma was not someone you don't have to do dishes because you're a male. You don't have to clean up because you're a male. Male, female, everybody was rotated. And we sometimes even make like a calendar for who does what day. And even we got lost or we got confused because that person was supposed to do is not around or was sick and we have to reverse. But at least everybody were able to do the cooking, the cleaning, the house chores. Everybody.
Wow, that's great.
No, there is no exception.
And what about in your household now? Does everybody?
In my household, now it's almost the same, but I'm kind of struggle with my son. But I'm pushing him, I'm kicking him, I'm just grabbing every time I need him around. He knows, and he's whatever you call his name is again, mommy again. But it's just the way for me to show him whatever I know, and he can learn from me. By being aware am I, by doing and looking at what I'm doing, and he can learn from it. Because most of the time you learn better by seeing with your eye, with your side, than your ears.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Which is why it's so nice that you are showing us tonight. So let's maybe check on the.
Yeah, we have to check on our recipe now. Trying to check on the plantain first. I know you cannot see what I'm saying, but the plantain is turning a little yellow, but it's not really done yet. Almost. I can scoop one of it. Don't go down. You can see it's almost, it was green, right? It's turning yellow, but it's not done yet. When I push on one of them, it's not showing the full cooking in the middle.
So again, here you're looking for it to be soft.
Soft,
when you
yes.
push with the
When you
spoon.
push it, you can see it. This is not cooked yet, fully cooked yet, but it's almost there. In few minutes.
Okay. So as we're waiting, maybe we can just chat a little bit more, and anyone else, feel free to ask any questions you might have for Gertrude. I remember when we met earlier to do the practice cooking, you were talking a little bit about what it was like for you when you knew that you had to leave Congo and or Gabon and come to the US, and that you only had a certain amount of weight that you could bring with you on the plane. Can you tell us what it was like to decide? How did you decide what to bring when you came here?
Yeah, we were trained. We had some days of training, how to behave here, how here looks like, coming from where we are coming from. And we were told that on airplane, you have a certain amount, like 50 pounds of each luggages, stuff like that. And we were three of us, me, my husband, and my girl, the oldest one. We were kind of leave everything for a new life. Leave everything for a new life. I told myself, I will go and get burned for a new time as an adult. I know where I'm coming from, but I don't know where I'm going to. I can't really cut my life in two pieces like that, going like be a newborn. No, it's gonna be like that. That is the truth. You come here, you're a newborn. You don't speak English. You don't know anything almost about the country. You are kind of lost. Even they can teach you in 2 or 2 weeks, you won't be able to really have everything in your mind and be active. And coming or leaving my country, I decided not to cut myself in half like I just said. I took most of stuff which I figured out was typically African. I have my clothes, African clothes, which I decided not to leave back. Shirts, t-shirt, pants, whatever we can get here. Jeans, yes. Those were stuff I did leave behind me. But African wife or African scarf, nah, I decided to bring everything. Even my earrings is African one style. In Africa, we are not just brands like Gucci, Michael Kors, or whatever, but we have design and we have special material we use to make stuff with. And for me, knowing that I won't maybe be able to have those stuff here immediately or maybe for a long time, I kept my stuff and I used my baby, my girl way or luggage side. I put all my stuff in hers, in mine, and I came with. In our group, everybody looked like I was kind of crazy. Why was I able to get all those stuff from Africa when I'm going to have almost everything? I told them these ones are different than what I would go and get there. I need them and I want to still have my conscience or my life or my past with me connected. These are kind of my past, which I cannot really get away with. I have to go with and connect this to the new life I will get there. That's what I did coming here. I had some things, not too much for my girl, but myself, yes, I did a lot. I bought a lot.
So I have a question here. Someone wants to know, this is a very basic recipe with very few ingredients. Do other Congolese recipes use more spices and herbs or other cooks in this recipe? And if so, what spices and herbs are used?
In other recipes, yes, we use herbs. But in this one, like she said, it's a basic one. This is just a simple one, yes. Which kind of herb we use back home? We use parsley, we use garlic, we use all this. Why am I? Bay leaves is now in Africa. In French, we call it feuille laurier. We use it more in soup stuff. You cannot use it in something really dry, but we don't really scratch it too much too. It's something you just drop it in your cookpot, get that leaves be showed, And we use, I don't know if you know gombo. It's kind of a veggie stew, and we use, besides onion, what am I thinking? Oh, but we use most of herbs we have here in our recipes, but it depends on which recipe you are making. But we are not um, too spicy like South America does. There are some, yeah, who like spicy food, they go with, but not really everybody. And West Africa too, like spicy stuff, but in the middle of our side, we do everything like middle side, not especially exceeded on this part, exceeded on that side.
Great. I do have another question too about if you could just talk more about some of your favorite culture and traditions. So what do you celebrate, or what other things did you do in Congo?
Yeah, we celebrate in Congo like Christmas, like here. For the New Year, we don't have Thanksgiving, but we do it like in churches. We celebrate back what again as big ones. Easter too, we do celebrate Easter. But those are just Christian side, it's not Muslim side. I won't be able to really go to detail on Muslim side because I don't have any specific idea on their side. But those are typically party we have, like major party we have in Africa. But here you celebrate the 31st of October as a Halloween style. It's not Halloween, but we go to cemetery cleaning up, making pictures, just try to make every cemetery look nice, for those who have lost their parent or loved one. We go and clean the 1st of November. It's a holiday back home too. What do we use as dance? We dance. We dance traditionally. Most of dance, African dance, yeah, dance is part of it. Singing, yeah, but I'm not a good singer. Sorry for that. I can try to dance a little, but not good for dancing. What else, sorry, I can say about my culture? My culture is like African culture. We like to be together. We make parties. We like to have new people in our villages. When you get like someone who came to visit and we celebrate for it. All those we make dance, night dancing. And people come together. We eat, we drink, we dance. It's most enjoying our time back home.
What was the hardest thing for you to adjust to coming to Connecticut and then subsequently Vermont? Like, what did you find the most difficult?
I didn't know Vermont when I got here, but I have a friend, one who was just here, we were all together in Gabon. We came together, but they were installed here. We went to Connecticut. I didn't like Connecticut because of too busy city. I was living in Bridgeport. It was a little busier and not looking nice for me and my family. I wanted to get really on the basic side of what is America, but I didn't see it there. I know the population, most of the people around me down there was coming from Spain, like Spanish people, but those Spanish too. They're free, but too much. It's too much movement. It's too busy, and I didn't like it at all. And I have a baby. I have a child who couldn't speak, and we were all lost with the new language. And I wanted somewhere calm, somewhere where I can adjust myself easier and faster and able to do whatever I think I can do. But down there, it was good. It was nice, but my heart didn't feel like it was my place. And I decided to move. I decided to move even before I got my baby. Even that month before I got my baby. But I got my baby, and the more we were staying, the more I was feeling it was so difficult for me to keep staying there. My vision was going down to South. I have my cousin there, my older sister. We call in my family we don't call cousin, we call them sister and brothers. That's all. But she's my cousin down there. She was good, and for whatever I was here from her, everything was looking nice. But it was far away from me, and all those finance part I have on my hand, income I had, I couldn't make that trip down there easier. And I came to a short place where I tried to afford. It was Vermont. And we came and joined that family. We were together in Gabon, the same city. We got the same plan of installation. We got everything established at the same time. They got a different state of landing, and we got a different one. But we came to them.
Oh, that's so great.
They were a big family too. They were a short one, they were a big one, but they made it in the safe place. When I got here too, and I felt it, I feel what I was looking for, calm place. That's all I needed.
Is there anything else you would like us to know about your life here in Vermont? You talked about the Parents University program.
My life in Vermont been like almost everybody's life, even I was not born here. And I got help, a lot of help when I got here from a refugee program. They help us to find jobs. They help us to find a place for winter. They even co-sign for us. They really help us to get in the States. All paperwork, they were there for us. And I don't remember the name of the head of the program at that time, refugee program at that time, but that lady was really nice to me when I got here. I really appreciate everything she did to us, to my family, my husband and my two kids. She was really nice, and that pleased me, and that gave me another way to feel home. And what did I do? We have a program here. It's coming from Burlington School District, where they are teaching parents coming from outside of the United States to learn what school look like, what kids go, what the kids get from school, how they deal with school. Because parents, as we come, we are even lost by the barrier of language. We are lost of almost everything of culture in America, and we just leave it to the kids. They go to school, they learn from school, they come back, they learn from more. It's too words from them, for them, and we as parents don't really go to that side of knowing what is behind our culture or outside, with especially school side. But Burlington School District made a program to teach parents for that. And I went there, I did one training, and the second time I was part of a team of working with them. And I liked that program because it's really true that I knew some stuff from school or at school, how PTO, stuff like that works. But with that program, I knew the right of parents. I knew the right of the kids. I knew the right of almost everything going in school, just going to that program. And I'm sure it's still continuing. Parents really benefiting for that side of training. It's a nice training for people like us. And I advocate too for Burlington School District for after school financial side. because I had 3 children in 3 different schools. And no, they were in 2 different schools at that time. And they were having after school program sport. That support need more support on financial side. And as a parent, I had my voice every time they need me to give it on those meetings they had where they were making their decision. I had my voice on it just to express as a parent what after school look like for parents, what after school is help, how to help parents in their lifestyle daily. That's what I went through as one of the parent or one of the Vermonter mom, I can say. And this is a new life for me. It won't be really, really old because when by the time I came here till now, it's not a half of my age. It's just kind of more than 10 years old. I was already more than that, but it's making me feel like I'm having all those 2 parts of life joined now, trying to make it together now than before. And I'm proud of being one of the Vermonters now.
Great. Someone wanted to know what Congolese parties are like, and along with that, if there's any fun traditions for weddings or different traditions for funerals that would be different in your country.
Yeah, different tradition for funerals. Normally, it's almost the same as funeral. You just, the person passed and we put it in the big city. We have home funeral, but in the villages we don't have. The person passed, you have a person over corpse for some days, like 1 or 2, then you bury it. It's just you get a casket and all those stuff goes. Then you go to one of the cemetery and bury a person. And in big cities, sometimes you have option for holding the corpse for long because of financial part, because of the family member, maybe they have to come together. Maybe there are people who are far away from there. They need them to attend that. It's not an event, but that ceremony or that funeral, you have option to make it feel like longer, but it's just the same. You stay home by that time of a funeral, you eat, you drink, but it's sometimes sad part, but you have to be together just to support each other. You can cry, it depends on however you are connected to that person. Crying is part of it, talking is part of it. It's sometimes the way you be connected to others too. Sometimes you are lost 10 years after you get connected there, sister, brother, whatever, but you are not almost together. But at that time, because you lost your dad, mom, uncle, or whatever, brother, you have to come together for the burial. That's not really, but for Muslim, like I said, Muslim don't wait long. It's different, but those are Christian side. And it's general, almost general, the way I know it. Congolese Party, it's a Congolese Independence Day. I know, and I was one in the team who made that event taking place here in Vermont. I was one of the people who were in the organization of that party. We had it in 2012 for the first time. I don't remember, that was 2012. Then I think the last time was 2015 or 16. I don't remember anymore. But that is a good event here in Vermont. I can say, I can share with others. Our food is ready. I'm sorry, I just turned it into, but now I can turn it off. It was on tour. I didn't say it loud, but I turned it lower. But because of the time, we are all done. And now we can see, everybody can see the difference. The first image we had, you can see has
Oh, it's
how
much more
the
orange.
plantain
yellow.
is really, really fully cooked. Now our recipe is all done. And you want to serve it hot. Because after getting it cold, when it's cool, it looks like a little thick, too much. It's not braised, but the pork has made up everything from it outside. The more it sits, the more it cools off, the more the grease goes on the top of the marinade or the coconut. I can show you guys for those who can see. This is our recipe all finished.
That looks delicious. How do you usually serve it then?
You go to serve it just the way it looks like. Just get a big spoon, get a big bowl, and make yourself comfortable for whatever you want, as piece of meat or as piece of plantains. Like this, you are good to go.
Yep, so now is the perfect time to put any last questions into the Q&A box. We're gonna serve up some bowls and we're gonna enjoy ourselves. So if anybody has any last questions, please go ahead and put those in the Q&A.
Delicious.
It looks delicious, and I'm sure it tastes delicious too.
Yes.
Do you want me to taste it for you, or you want?
When it's cool enough, taste it and tell us. Wait.
I thought you are the one who's going to taste it, but I can taste it for you. Yeah, it's what we want to have.
Yay.
This is what I like to have.
Yeah, great. So Gertrude, thank you so much for teaching us about pork and plantain tonight. This has really been a wonderful class. I think this is a recipe that is very accessible for people. They just need to get pork and plantain and can make an amazing dish here. And I really appreciate you also sharing about your history and your experiences in Congo-Brazzaville and sharing with us, all of the cultural knowledge that we don't really have a chance to learn in other ways. So thank you very much. It was wonderful to have you, and thank you to City Market for hosting us here this evening.
Yeah. Someone is asking if we could show an up close of the food. So if we could maybe hold that bowl right in front of the webcam, we'll make sure we get a good view of it. Hold it up and tilt. Perfect. There we go. The finished stew. Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you for having me, and like she said, enjoy your recipe.